House. Wednesday 7 to 9, you need to check them out. I promise I ain't trying to hype, but one good listen tonight, it might change your life. So what's the name of the show? When you need something to just ride to on the go, or you might be home, so log on. You can even dial in on your phone. I promise that you're gonna love it. Just try it one time, it'll blow your mind. Now I'ma say it just one more time. Every Wednesday from 7 to 9. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe. Let's gripe.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. How are you? Marcus, I know you're looking to see my beautiful face. I'm not showing it tonight at all. Not tonight.
Oh, okay. How
How
you
you
doing?
guys doing out there this evening?
Well, good evening, Miss Anonymous, tonight. It's Wednesday. I think it's July 20th. I really do think that it's July 20th, 2022. And it's just so good to be here on another Wednesday. Welcome, everybody. We hope everybody has had an enjoyable week. And welcome to tonight's episode of Let's Gripe.
Yeah, man. It's what a couple of weeks since we kind of got together and did our thing. Happy to be back. Happy to be conversing with these lovely ladies on here. Let's gripe. I'm ready for the show. Let's go.
Yeah. So apparently, school is starting in a couple of weeks, is what the word on the street is. Like for those people who have to go back to school that first week in August, summer is 2 weeks away from being over for you, and for parents. And for those people who still drive and commute, traffic is about to be back to pre-summer levels. I guess the good news on that is gas is slowly going back down. It hasn't really reached to where I would like for it to be. For me personally, 198 would be great. I don't
I'm with you.
know. You know, some people say I'm overly optimistic, but I mean, somebody has to be. So I don't really understand why it couldn't get back to 199, 198, like somewhere around right below $2. Like in my mind, that makes sense. And that's really great for my budget, as I'm sure it is for other people. So we will see how long this trickle downward spiral continues, but hopefully it will continue to go down and get closer to $2 because that's really where it needs to be.
Well, I don't know about the $2, but we might get to the $3.50, y'all.
I mean, Tony, can we get to 289?
I don't see it because this inflation. You hear about the loaf of bread. How about the loaf of bread for $10?
What? Say what? What are you talking about? What
Did you
are you
miss that,
talking?
McKenna?
What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, there are some loaf of breads, specialty breads that are causing up to $10 for a loaf of bread.
What they do?
Right.
Specialty bread. What you got? There's the I think the one that starts with the A. Is it the Arston?
Artesian?
Yes, the
Artisan?
artesian bread.
Oh,
They
okay.
are up to $10. Yes, I read that in the article yesterday.
In Georgia?
I don't know if it's Georgia, but it's just saying the loaf of bread has went up. So besides the gas, also grocery has increased. I mean, I talked about my groceries, like my fruits and vegetables that I usually would pick up at Aldi's would, before the pandemic was about $20. Since the last, say, month, it doubled. I went last Friday. It literally like tripled.
Wow. That's
Wow.
crazy.
So speaking of tripling, I have a gripe.
What up? What up?
So today I was doing my paying the bills, being an adult. And you pay the same exact bills every month. Like these bills are the same. You pay them every month. It's no big deal. This is what we do as adults. So I get to the water bill and I was like, wait 1 minute. I was like, I had to open the actual bill. I was online about to just pay the bill. And I was like, why is this bill triple, not double, triple as what is usually? So before I even got upset, I said, let me just look back in the history. Maybe I forgot to make a payment. It could happen. It's not likely, but it could happen. So I scrolled back through the history. I paid last month's bill. I paid the bill before. I looked at the average usage to see, what I average per month, and it was still triple. I said, this doesn't make any sense. I haven't used triple the amount of water in the last 30. It hasn't happened. There's no leaks. I would see water somewhere if there was a leak. So I pick up the phone and I call. So I get the nice little lady at the water office, and she was like, Miss McKenna, no, it says right here that you use, wait for it, 12,900 gallons of water.
Did you rent the house? Did you rent the house out to Airbnb? I mean, talk to us.
12,009. Now I said, now what was my last month? She said, well, last month it was 5,000. I said, and what was it the month before? She was like 3,000. I said, now last month I noticed it was higher, but I didn't say anything. I just let it go. I said, well, maybe, it was just higher. But this month I said, no, because I literally paid attention to it, because last month it was higher. And I said, did I do something different? Was something leaking? I said, how did I use 7,000, 8,000 gallons of water more this month than last month? She had no answer for me, which I didn't expect her to. So I asked her, I'm one of those people that will ask the questions. I said, well, what about the people in my neighborhood? My neighbors, the person on the other side. I said, I know you have access to everybody's water bill in the area that I live. Can you share some insight? Has anybody else reported, some faulty water readings? And she was like, well, I can't really get into that. Let's just focus on your bill. I said, okay, well, let's focus on my bill. I said, well, the water meter, I said, is that the meter that's outside that says water? And she was like, yes. I said, well, I can go outside and read it myself. And then she said, well, not really. I said, well, what do you mean not really? She said, well, if you open the cover and you look at it, it's going to look blank. You have to have like a special flashlight to read the meter. So now we're talking obscurely, because now she's not making any sense. It's like, so as a customer, I can't go outside and read my own meter, that I have to have some kind of special flashlight to see what the meter reading is. I mean, like, how do I know that this is correct?
You don't. And you're not supposed to.
I said, this sounds like one of those City of Atlanta type water schemes that happened, yesteryear, where customers were complaining of, busted lines and the city not being responsible for repairs. So I didn't get into any of that. I just asked her, as a customer, what action, what recourse, how do I dispute this? Because clearly I did not use 7,000 more gallons of water. I would see that somewhere. If there was a leak, it would be outside. 7,000 gallons of water doesn't just hide anywhere. And she was like, well, you can call this number and put in a dispute. I said, excellent. This is what we will do. So tomorrow I will call the dispute. I said, now I do want to pay my bill. Like, I want to pay what I regularly pay. I said, so is it okay if I just pay what I regularly pay and dispute the rest? And she was like, yes. So this is what we're going to do. So tomorrow I will call them and file my complaint, and they will look at my 12-month history and see that in the 15 years I've been in the same place, I have never had a bill this high ever in 15 years. So I look forward to them resolving my issue in an expedient, customer service friendly manner, in my optimistic opinion. So we'll see what happens.
I'm still tripping off the you can't read the meter unless you got a special flashlight.
She was like, yeah, it's like solar. She's like, I don't know the right term, but it's like solar powered. So if you look at it, you're not really going to see anything, and you have to have like a special light. And I was like, yeah, no. And I asked the other question. I said, did he actually come and read the meter? So she assured me that he did, except for I work remote. So I work at home, and I've never seen the truck, because I live in a cul-de-sac. So you would have to have the truck parked in the middle of the cul-de-sac and walk around and read all the meters. And I've never seen the meter man in the past year that I've been working remotely.
So she's saying that people are physically coming out to homes reading meters?
That's the information she gave me.
Baby, she got to read up on her manual a little bit more, or her rule books or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
When was the last time you saw a meter man read a meter?
Yeah.
And usually they read it from an office nowadays. They have all these technology, and sometimes what they do, they try to go from the last bill and say, okay, it's been hot, so they've probably been taking 3 showers a day versus 2. But McKenna, you did say something right as far as how can I dispute that. It is that we're at this time that we need to start looking over our bills. Before, your bill used to be $80 and it come to 83, we keep it rolling. Then you see it's up to $90. We have to start looking at the bill. They're raising these taxes. They are tacking on customer service fees. So, yeah, read your bill, go over your bill. And if it's something that you feel that need to be disputed, you should do that, because these companies are trying to make as much recoup from this economy, and only the customers are really feeling it right now. I literally put myself on a budget. Seriously, it's like, do I, I'm okay where I don't have to say food or gas, but I'm like, well, the way everything going, so I don't have to debate if food or gas. Let me just go and put myself on an extra budget. Because things are getting really high. Property taxes. I know everyone got their property tax for this year, and it's not pretty. And I don't know if the last show we had, maybe about in May, I mentioned if you get those tax bill, appeal those taxes. I appeal mine. They went down a couple of dollars, and I totally was gonna appeal it again, and I oversighted, so I have to take the bullet for that one, but I still appealed it, and I got a couple of dollars off. So for next tax year, appeal your taxes, guys. We don't just take it and be like, it is what it is. No, it's not. And while you're listening, just getting these tips and everything, please go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to the powerhouseradio.com. And don't forget, we're also at 89.1 FM, Victoria's Records Radio. So come on now. So, of course, we had a lot of things that we missed for the whole last 2 weeks, but there was one of the topics that I really wanted to address. Did you guys see the video that went viral regarding Sesame Place?
Sesame Place?
Yes, Sesame Place. When you go to the park, it's in Philadelphia. I remember I took the kids there years ago when they was itty bitty, and they have their characters, the Sesame Street characters, that would do like a parade. However, there was 2 black young girls. They were so excited. They was, at the side of the road with a parade with other children and their parents, and they wanted to hug, shake the hands of the characters. This particular character shook every white parent or children and hugged. Got to the black kids, act like didn't even see them, and just walked past. So the mother put it on social media, blasting them. So they want to come out and say, "Oh no, they just couldn't see, because their costume is so high. So if you're short, they can't really see." So other parents who have experienced the same thing start uploading their videos. Yes, y'all, Sesame Street, those people, they got underneath them costume. Yeah, they don't like them black children, y'all. They literally was, and it was obvious. Every one of them, don't know if it's the same person because it was a few different characters. They only embrace the white folks, y'all.
I just don't have anything to say. I mean, here we are about to be at the end of 2022, and we're still talking about these incidents of isms where people can overlook their prejudice to just entertain the children. You're not touching their skin, you got on a costume. Like, what's the harm? It's just ridiculous. And it's really sad for the kids because they don't really understand why they're being snubbed, and they don't get the same attention that the other children get. And then how do you explain that to them as a 6 or 7-year-old, as a parent? It's frustrating. It's frustrating that we still have to have these conversations and people don't know how to love more. I think we talked about this in a previous show. We just need a little bit more love, and we just need to treat people the way we want to be treated, or better, treat people better than how you want to be treated. Like if that was your child, give that child the attention that they came to the park for. They came to Sesame Street Place to have a Sesame Street experience. And if that's not a job that you can do for every person, whether they are, black, white, yellow, Asian, disabled, have a different lifestyle preference than you, then you're in the wrong profession, and yield and let somebody else do that job. But you've just traumatized somebody. You've just created conversation that somebody didn't want to have again with their child or with their parent, co-parent, or with their neighbor. So I hope Sesame Street Place does some corrective action, some cultural sensitivity training, some apologizing to the parents, and does something to rectify this energy that has been put out there because of their employee who chose not to do the right thing.
So that's what they did come back and say, that they are going to do the training for, the sensitivity of that situation. But it just explained how it's everywhere. It's not just towards Black adults or Black men. If you're Black, you are going to, regardless if you're an adult or a child or teenager, you are going to experience these things.
Yeah.
So us as parents, aunts and uncles, we have to start teaching. It's sad that we have to teach them at this young age, but we have to start letting them be aware, because they're trying to take it out to school. So we have to let them know, like, they believe that we don't belong here. They believe that we're a creature we don't belong here. How do you get a child to understand that? It's hard, because now they're going to think that someone is a different color of them, don't like them, but not everyone is like that. So you have to explain it to them. Everyone is not like this, but there are some people. How do they detect who is and who isn't? They're not able to experience normalcy with just being friends, or having a different color person speak to you, especially in that kind of environment when you're entertaining children. I've seen about maybe 4 different videos, and it's quite obvious. The first one, I'm like, but then I was like, when I kept on seeing that video, and I'm like, you know what? Yeah, because that was an adult, and then there was a kid the same height as the other kid. So yeah, I don't believe that mess about the costume. So then as other parents start uploading different videos, I'm like, whoa, literally. They literally walk past. Like when they get to the Black children, they held their head up and kept going, like they didn't even see them. And one of the parents who this happens, who viral video went viral, they obtained an attorney, and she was like, there's no money that could compensate for how their children is feeling. So I'll keep you guys posted on that, because that is something that we're continuously having conversation about, is that particular conversation.
Did we talk? I can't remember. Did we talk about the young lady who said? I think we did. We talked about last time. We talked about the young lady who said the father of one of her kids brought food for one child,
Yes,
but
we
didn't
did.
bring for the other. Did y'all hear the update on the story?
That it was a skit.
Yes, but
Okay.
it did spark interesting conversation.
Okay.
And
she
it
got
went
her.
viral.
So she got her 15 minutes of fame. It did what it was supposed to do, and you're right. It did spark a lot of interesting conversation, and I'm sure that men who went to pick up their kids that week were like, "Should I be trifling and just bring some McDonald's for like?" What should
No,
I?
no, McKenna, no.
No.
This is no, McKenna. This is it.
Okay.
The baby daddy called the baby mama. Get Raheem dressed. I'm just gonna take him. We just gonna play some basketball. Or I'm gonna take him over to see mama real quick. Pick him up, put in the car. Come on, we're gonna get something to eat. But you're gonna eat it before you go home. You know, that's what really happened. You know what I'm saying? Picked them up, took them out the house, and went by their business. And when you go home, don't tell them you had nothing to eat.
Man.
So yes, there's a little conversation. But there's also another serious one. There is a doctor an anesthesiologist doctor in Brazil. Caught in the act, the nurse kind of saw something fishy, suspicious about this doctor. So she decided to set up a video camera. And while the patient was under anesthesia, she was getting a C-section. And you know, when you have a C-section, they always have like the mother, like if she was supposed to wake up during the C-section, she cannot see what they're doing. They have like a the sheet covering, so she cannot see anything like past her neck. Okay. So, and the doctors can't really see her face, but you know, the anesthesiologist is always by the patient's face because they're checking the vitals, giving them the oxygen, you know, things like that. Well, this Brazilian doctor, apparently he's been doing this not once, but multiple times, took his penis out and put it in the fully sedated mother's mouth. And he did that for 10 minutes. He has since been arrested.
Arrested? That's it?
He's been arrested, but there's other patients that has came through.
My goodness. Look, I'm just gonna be honest with y'all. As a father, look, I'm stringing him up. And I have to pray for forgiveness. I'm stringing him up. Finding the nearest tree, whatever you want to, whatever by any means necessary. That man gone. And think about the fact that they're helpless at that point in time, and they're trying to deliver a baby. See, what I thought the story was going was like, you know, one of them was getting like one of the BBLs or something like that. But she's having a baby. I don't even understand how they're in the room by themselves with them to be able to do that. That doesn't. I don't understand that. Is it like a recovery surgery or something?
No,
like that?
No. The doctors was in front. They were down at the stomach, the pubic area, cutting her, doing the C-section. But there's a high sheet blocking, so the doctors can't see her face. You can't see over. Just think about it.
So in other words, not only are you doing something that's unethical, illegal, wrong, but you're also taking a risk because you're right. They're down at the bottom where the sheet is. The person, the anesthesiologist or the other person is standing up top where you are. You're taking a risk that somebody doesn't walk around, somebody doesn't come see what's happening.
Yeah, the article, it's sad because they were saying that when any of the nurses would try to approach, you know, to the front where you know where he was with the patient, the top half of the patient, he would like dismiss them, like get away from here. But the nurse had the hidden camera, and you can literally see when he removed this thing, and because the way the patient face was turned sideways, laying down, he put his penis in this mother who is actually having a C-section, put his penis in her mouth. Not for 2 minutes, a whole 10 minutes.
No. See, I don't know. In a country like that, he may not make it. You may
Yeah,
finish, you may
yeah,
not make it, and I'm all for
yeah. They have different kind of street law.
it. Yeah,
Yeah, because I think
Yeah,
they didn't give him. I don't think he
yeah.
received bond. And the thing is that you already, as a patient, you already afraid of, because you hear other things that's happening when you're going under, you know, besides the health risk of, coming back to after the surgery is performed, but also just with things, they had videos of doctors talking about a patient while they're doing surgery, making fun of patients. So, you always have those things in your head already about surgery. And then now this comes along. So you're like, oh my goodness, what was done to me when I had this procedure?
yeah, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
there's and there's no way unless he comes out and say, "Nah, it wasn't you." But how could he? How could you believe him at this point? If you're any patient up at that hospital, that's gotten a C-section, um, I don't know how long that guy's been working there, probably for some years. He has to be, or somewhat familiar with the procedure and how to do this and stuff in order to wrap his mind around any of it. But yeah, I mean that's just crazy. So the hospital is going to be sued. Um, I don't know if they're going to be operational anymore.
Oh, it's going to be multiple lawsuits.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why doctors are required to have a certain amount of insurance policy for a certain amount of money because of those malpractice suits. But this is outside of malpractice. You know, you're doing something to someone. That's rape. That's literally rape.
yeah,
That's rape.
yeah. I mean, yeah. It's to the full extent of whatever the law considers to be at that time, and the fact
Mhm.
that to me it bothers me so much, um, because I mean, if they really wanted to get technical and get nasty with it too, they could charge him with child molestation, um, all that stuff. I mean, they can really do that because I mean, if they really wanted to kind of do stuff, but just in general, man, it's just crazy to me. Like I'm really bothered by the story.
hmm
I
and the thing about it is, these are stories that are recurring things. I mean, we have Bill Cosby, we have R. Kelly, we have this doctor. There are just people out there that are social and sexual deviants, and they get off on doing things while people are drugged or incapacitated or too young to consent. Um, and the perversion that people practice on other people is stomach nauseating. It's beyond words to describe how awful it is. And then as the victim, like the amount of embarrassment, shame, horror, terror that you feel because you've been violated in your most helpless, fragile state. You're there to get a procedure. You're having a C-section. You are producing life, and then part of your life is being taken from you because of this trauma that somebody is imposing upon you. So to all of our listeners who have been violated, in any way, you know, I'm sure that hearing these stories reminds you of your own experience. And it's not something that we talk about, but there are more people that have been violated than, they say if you're in a room with 10 people, about 2 people have been violated in some kind of way. Those are the statistics.
yeah,
And conversations that we have with our friends or our coworkers. But if you're in a room with 10 people, just 10 people, there's going to be 1.5, 1.7, 1.8, 2 people out of that room who have experienced some kind of assault or violation. And that's quite a high percentage of people that have been experienced. So again, we always say, talk to your people, check on your loved ones, have conversations with your children. I know one of the things that one of my relatives used to do with her child was, not only talk about good touch, bad touch, but that child had permission to say no at a young age. So if you were like, give me a hug, and she was 6 and she said no, her mother didn't force her to hug somebody. She gave her that empowerment or that voice at a young age to be able to say no, and it was okay to say no. And so those conversations we have to have with our kids because we are quick, especially in our community. Go over there and hug your uncle or hug your cousin. We're quick to um, take away their voice or their choice to be able to say no or to set that boundary. But we have to teach them at a young age that it's okay to show love in a different way. If you don't want to hug the person, fist bump, a nod up, a thumbs up, there's another way to be respectful and to show some affection to someone without them touching you. So I just encourage people to have those conversations because there are some conversations that are difficult, but they're necessary because we never know who's lurking out there preying on somebody who doesn't have the voice to say no, or preying on somebody who's in a situation where they're incapacitated and they don't have the opportunity to voice that no.
Perfectly said, McKenna. It's just one of these things that, thank goodness for cameras, video cameras, especially the phone. It's nothing like these smartphones because now we can catch things that we weren't able to. I can be across the room and you're doing something, vice versa, and we can pull out the phone and act like we're taking a picture and we're videoing you. So, it's just one of those things that we're glad that more people are videoing when they see something that is totally wrong. Or they might, be videoing something and then they go back to watch the video and see something that was wrong or something that was done. And then also there is when we can, address those situations. So I am getting some texts from my friends for our listeners. They was like, why they can't see me. You can't see me, you guys. I am so tired. I'm not I just didn't feel like doing it today. I don't sound tired. That's a good thing about it. But you guys will see my face next week. But thank you guys for tuning in and your concern. It's just one of those days. One of those days. You guys hear me always talk on the show about mental illness. And when I say that, it doesn't mean that I'm going crazy, but stress. Stress is real. Stress is real, and stress could lead to depression. It could lead to all kind of things. So I'm not in the depression stage. I'm just tired today. So guys, make sure you take care of yourself. If you don't do anything else, take care of yourself. Take a break, no matter what it is. We all are busy. We have different things that we're doing. We have work. We have the children. We have to take care of the house. We have to take care of our business, etc., etc. Goes on and goes on. Bills, the thing that they call life. Um, we have it, but you have to sometimes just stop. Like they say, stop, drop, and roll. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. You gotta stop and just take time for you, whatever it is. Even if it's just drink a glass of wine. If you don't drink wine, get a glass of, iced tea in a wine glass. Just something. Just take that time for you. Get your support crew. I give you guys a story. My gripe. So of course, I had my therapy session scheduled for last week. And, I was all feeling good. And I'm telling my friends, I'm like, I'm going to be really transparent. I'm putting everything. I'm all like proud of myself because I'm about to tell them stuff. They can't tell nobody. How about 30 minutes before my session, I get a text. Oh my gosh, Tonya, I've totally messed up. I am out with my son for his birthday. This is the therapist, y'all, not my friend. The therapist. And then she asked me if I want to reschedule. Why? I probably had 1 foot over the bridge. How you forget that you had an appointment set up? So I had to, wheel my way back in, and I was like, I didn't respond. I had said something about, because she was like, oh, I'm available tomorrow at 1. No, I'm not available until after 3. So then she texted me back Monday. She was like, I have a 4 o'clock. Let me know if you're available. Did not answer. I don't need a therapist like that. Okay, I get it. It's just some birthday, all that stuff. I'm not saying that you should have, kick him to the curb for me. You made the appointment yourself. Did you give yourself a reminder that you had an appointment? So I was like, well, thank goodness. So I called one of my best girlfriend in the world. I called her and I said, listen, I'm just going to tell you, you're going to be my therapist forever. Because she always encouraging me to, hey, get a therapist. They good, boo, boo, boo. So I had to call her and I had to put her on notice. You're going to be my therapist forever. And when I told her, she was like, oh my goodness. She was like, wow, and she totally agreed with me. It's like, I'm not, because that was the first impression that I'm going to get. So this might happen again. You might decide to go hang out with your girls and, oh, I forgot. So no, not going to do it, but I'm going to reschedule. But I'm just saying that to say, get a therapist that fits your need. And if you not feeling the vibes, find someone else. Definitely, it's July 20th. So I got to shout out my baby, my niece Jalen. Everybody knows that's my other side of my heart. Yesterday was her birthday. She is 20 years old, you guys. 20. She was just born. Okay. So that was hard for me. I'm looking at her video and I'm like, oh my goodness, you are a young adult. So shout out to all. But guess what? We got to shout out Lady D. Lady D celebrated her birthday last week, y'all. Last Tuesday, to be exact. Happy birthday, Lady D, from the powerhouseradio.com. I mean, when I tell you she fine as wine, honey, they said, honey, you know how they say when you get, wine don't get stale? Yeah, I'm talking about. Yeah, Lady D fine, y'all. But happy birthday, Lady D, at the powerhouseradio.com. So everyone that's celebrating a birthday in July, my nephew celebrated his birthday July 11th. So there's a lot of July babies. And of course, happy birthday to everyone that celebrated their birthday or going to celebrate their birthday this month from Let's Gripe at the powerhouseradio.com. Guys, you have anything else before we go to another topic? Did you have a gripe, Marcus?
No, I just want to say happy birthday to Lady D. I guess she's a Cancer in the building. So I want to say happy birthday to her. My daughter's birthday was the 14th. So we celebrated that a little bit too.
Awesome. Happy birthday.
Mm-hmm.
I,
Go ahead.
I just wanted to kind of happy birthday, Lady D, and happy birthday to your daughter. But I did want to kind of piggyback off of what Tony was talking about. And what I see in that picture, the larger issue is that people do depend on us to do what we say we're going to do and follow through. When you make a commitment to someone, to something, whether it's personal or professional, it's important that you respect that person's time and respect and honor that commitment. Now, we do know that there are unexpected things that happen. Like if you're driving and you get a flat tire, you're headed to the office, that's something that's out of your control. But those things that are within our control, we do need to make a diligent effort to honor the commitments that we make. If you say you're going to be there, be there. If you say we're going to meet. If you say I'm going to call you tomorrow, call me tomorrow. If you say I'm going to check on that for you, check on that for me. Do the things that you say you're going to do, because all people are fragile, and it means being able to demonstrate and model integrity creates hope, and it creates consistency, and it creates trust. And we live in this world where it's difficult to trust people. It's difficult to trust what's going to happen. It's difficult to, trust what's going on around us, because things are so volatile and things are so on the edge. So when you say you're going to do something, do that thing, because it creates that bond. It creates that trust. It creates that stability. And if nothing else, people need some stability in their life. You never know how unstable a person's life is, and you might be that one person that's always consistent, for them. And when something happens, own it. Apologize, acknowledge, and fix it. Make it right, because it's important for people to know that, okay, yes, I made this mistake. I apologize. I don't take it lightly. and I know that I could have done a better job, and I own that. So we have to learn how to do that as adults. Because when we do that, then we can model it for that next generation. Because there are a lot of people out here that say one thing and they do something else. You know those people. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna get up. Are you?
Yeah.
Do you mean that? So, but I just wanted to add to that.
Yeah, I think we when people say stuff like that, I think we just be like, yeah, nah, we'll see. But I do have a little gripe now that y'all mentioned it. So I've been going back and forth with my alarm company. Um, the alarm company come in and put stuff up in your house and stuff like that. Well, they put up a motion detector and stuff like that. Well, what happened was one day magically the motion detector just fell down. So I'm like, what's going on? So I called the company. They were like, well, can't you just put it back up yourself? No. Why would I put it back up? So if something happens to it, I'll be liable for everything else. No, we don't play them games. So I said, no, you need to send a technician out. Go ahead and have them put it back up. It was like, well, if we send a technician out, it's going to be this amount, this price. Why? Why would it be this price though? It should be zero, because when your technician installed it the first time, obviously they didn't install it correctly. It's like, well, I can't do nothing about it. So, I played the old, let me talk to your manager trick. So I talked to the manager. He was like, well, yeah, I think we can waive that fee. You sure can. So I'm kind of frustrated with this company, because like the day that they were scheduled to come, they did a no call, no show. It's like, oh yeah, and after the appointment window had closed, they was like, yeah, we have to reschedule. So today was supposed to be the day that they rescheduled for. A day that I didn't even agree to. Well, no, they had another day that I didn't agree to. I had to make it arrange it for today. So the guy calls me. Keep in mind, the appointment was from 12 to 4. I'm usually asleep during the day, right? I kind of didn't get no sleep, because I say by the time I close my eyes and get good to sleep, it might be the window for them to come. Guy calls me at like 3:45. He was like, yeah, man, can you reschedule the appointment? I said, I really don't. I mean, this is the time schedule that I had scheduled. So you guys have already kind of rescheduled on your own already. I would like for you to come out and get this done. He was like, well, can you put it up yourself? I said, no, I can't do that. I said, you need to come out and do it. He said, well, I live all the way in here. It's going to take me an hour. That ain't got nothing to do with me, bro. Nothing at all. This is a job you're supposed to do. If he was like, well, you like the last step, and I got to. If it was only going to take X amount of time, you should have probably just came out here and did this first, when there was no traffic, and then you could have pushed back your other appointments, maybe 15, 20, whatever that was. But you'd have got that done. He was trying to get me to understand his plight. No, bro, that's not business. That's your personal. I don't want to. That's not business. That's just like, I don't feel like it.
I don't wanna.
Right. That's not business. So
wow.
I mean, I'm just real frustrated with this company, and I don't understand what the issue is, what the problem is. I don't know if it's the area I'm in. I don't know if it's the technicians that they're getting to come out here or whatnot. But it's just it's just stuff that frustrates you when it comes to like business. When you're working with a company like this, and you're paying every month, everything's on time. You're paying that, and then it's taking you 2 to 3 weeks to do a job that doesn't take that long.
Well, basically, you know what? Like you said, he's probably thinking, "Wow, he can really put this up himself. Now I got to drive out.
Yeah,
that's my gas. That's that $6 a gallon gas that I got. I'm gonna burn."
But that's your job.
Right.
This is what you do for a living. And when you schedule, you have a whole schedule of all the people you're supposed to see in one day. And you know how to manage a schedule, especially when you're not new to it. You know how far it is from point A to point B. So like you said, MG, maybe I need to start here and do it in reverse order. Instead of making it my last stop of the day, make it my first stop of the day.
Yeah. If he'd called me this morning and said, hey, can I come earlier? No problem. That would have been perfect for me anyway, because it was chopped up in the middle of the day, which kind of messed up my whole little sleep pattern. And so, like, to me, it was like when you saw your schedule, like, oh, this is going to take 5 minutes. but you had a schedule where he was like, yo, I'm still at my first appointment. Why are you still at your first appointment, bro? Like that was at 8 o'clock this morning. What are you doing? What are you putting up? Like, are you decorating the whole mansion? You putting up stuff in the whole mansion or something like that? Like it's literally taking you. But his thing was, I stopped working at 4.
How can you start working at 4 when you have a 12 to 4 window? I'm just asking out loud.
I don't know.
And so
Well,
did he refuse to come? So did he not come?
No, he didn't come.
Okay.
He didn't come.
And did he
So
reschedule?
he
oh, they gonna have to give some
rescheduled.
credit on that bill too.
He rescheduled, but I'm gonna talk to him about it because I could have better understood if the previous appointment they just didn't show up at all. You know what I mean? It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like when you're doing stuff, you set up an appointment, you do stuff during the day. At times, they don't know if you're taking off work. It's costing you money to sit at home and wait on these people for this window, and you have people that no call, no show.
That part.
So is this a corporate security system?
Oh
One
yeah,
that has a corporate office somewhere?
oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's considered one of the best in the
Okay.
country.
So
All
I
right, so
hope
you
that
should be
would
contacting corporate tomorrow.
and get some, yeah, and offer some of that feedback that they so appreciate. Yeah. Yeah.
So you can get that $19.99 a month for the next year.
There you go.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I probably need some more equipment for free too.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As a matter of fact, take the whole thing down. I want something else because yeah, I don't
Yes,
trust that this is actually going to work.
upgrade my system.
Yeah.
Update it.
Yeah. So
Well,
speaking of
Marcus,
videos,
keep us updated and let us see and let us know if they came out or how long it took them to came out to put it back up for you.
Mm-hmm.
But I got to do a little bragging right now. Jamaica is still number 1 in the women's race. They have came in first, second, and third. Jamaica holding that record, y'all.
What race are we talking about here?
All right. So since you want me to go all the way in. All right. See, I was trying not to rub it all the way in. But
you talking about the 100?
World Athletic Championship. And this was at the Haywood Field. Yeah, I think this is the World Championship. So Jamaica came in first, second, and third.
This is track and field, correct?
I'm sorry?
Track and field?
Track and field. Yes. You're correct. Yes.
So this is the 100.
This is actually 100. Yes, the 100 meter, and they advanced to the 200 meters. So yeah.
That's what I thought. So
Yeah.
I remember the story about that young lady who
Shakari, right?
Yeah, who wanted all the smoke. Both
she wanted all the smoke, and she
figuratively and literally.
But she wanted all the smoke from the Jamaicans, and then she ended up having a little Jamaican girlfriend, y'all. She had a little Jamaican flame, y'all. But they didn't work out. But yeah, she was disqualified. She didn't. I don't think she placed it all in that particular race at all. Pretty much, Jamaicans. They can run. They have a lot of good athletics. So it's good to see them that they're actually showing. Besides, everyone is used to Usain Bolt. I think he's retiring from racing. So it's good to see the females doing their thing. But I mean, let's not get it twisted. USA got some for real runners. Not Shakari, but we got some for real runners as well. So I'm not taking that from them. So I mean, kudos to everyone that is in sport, that is doing their things, regardless if they place at all, but just kudos, because it does take a lot to be finalists in these big races or any kind of sports that you're doing. So definitely got a shout out to them. And of course, like McKenna was saying, here in Georgia and even like in the South, the kids and even college students, they're getting ready to go back to school. So congratulations to all the new college students that's going to college. One of my girlfriend, and I gotta shout her out. She is a single mother with 3 children, and I am glad to say that she is my friend, because I've seen what she has went through, and her children father, who remarried, financially stable, have a good job, everything, but did not financially took care of his children. To see that she has a RN, the second one has gotten accepted in Tuskegee med school, going to be a doctor, and we got the third that is on his 3rd year of physical therapy, y'all. Give it up to that Black single mama. Yes, I mean, yes. I mean, I was so honored to, and I was just saying to her, I said, we got a nurse, we about to have a doctor. And I said, look, and I need physical therapists, on my hands, with my carpal tunnel kicking and all that stuff. So it's good. It's good to see single parents, if it's the dad or the mom, doing their thing. So again, shout out to single parents and even parents in general that's doing their thing, and for your children, them who is furthering their education, getting their career together. That is awesome. So for this new school year, just just pray for your children when they leave in the house. Pray for them and just, talk to them about certain things. And we just got to keep them, motivated to strive for excellence. Okay. So again, congratulations to everyone out there that is celebrating some type of endeavors. My nephew, he's getting married next month, y'all. So, I mean, people, regardless that the inflation is here, people still doing their thing. And that's what's up.
Can't help but to. Can't help but to. I mean, we have to adjust, which is the period that we in fighting, kicking and screaming, but we adjust. It's a different world out there. Proud of all the people that, especially Black women that have started business during this pandemic, and just came to my mind. I saw something on social media. There are 30% of all the new businesses that have been started within the past year or two. And just, I've run into in the past few weeks is just, Black women on their job hustling, doing their thing. I got a cousin too who's raising 4 pretty much on her own. I don't think I've ever met the father of her kids. And she's an RN as well. So she's been doing her thing for a long time. I think her oldest is like 19 or 20. So she's been doing her thing too. But it's just a shout out to Black women in general, single mothers, just single women out there doing their thing. Just salute to them.
Kudos. You know what they always say, never give up. No pain, no gain. It's 8:00, y'all. We did come in a little late today, but it's 8:00. So we have a new artist that we want to play. Actually, he's out of Florida, and it is a family friend of ours that is doing his thing. So you guys, you can download his music on Apple. I will have more information next week regarding the artist, but thank you for tuning in to the powerhouseradio.com. Remember, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Powerhouse, we ready to take it out. This is TONIA. See you next week.
MG, I'm out.
You act like I lied to you. Love you what I tried to do. I know I got issues. Don't wanna be reminded. I've been looking for my girl. Help me, I can't find it. I've been off that juice. I'm on that 1942. You know that we toxic. Your love got me blinded. Tryna treat you like my main one, but you moving like a side. And I won't lie, girl, I love you. In the beginning, we was vibing. You change the way you treat me, I'm sliding. I know that I ain't perfect, no denying. But we like two trains on the track when we collide. And you know that I've been through. It's starting to feel like deja vu. Can you tell me again? Through the thunder and the rain, swear that you will never change. Promise you will stay the same. You told me you ride for me. I told you I'd die for you. If I know that ain't real, then I won't waste my time when you tell me again. Through the thunder and the rain, swear that you'll never change. Promise you stay the same. I can't be this type with you. You act like I lied to you. Loving you what I tried to do, but you gon' say I tried with you. I won't waste my time, but I gotta slow down. Arguing on the phone, got me running red lights, trying to get from around it. Yeah. Can't deal with you, that I refuse. You got choices, give from what you choose. You told me you'd always be down. You swore that you with me. To keep it 100, I don't feel the love. If it's your way, you loving me. You message on Instagram, trying to find out what's up with me. I'm texting your phone, you do not reply. Sometimes I feel like you duck. I need you to tell me again. Through the thunder and the rain, swore that you would never change. Promise you will stay the same. You told me you ride for me. I told you I'd die for you. If I know that ain't real, then I won't waste my time when you tell me again. Through the thunder and the rain, swore that you'll never change. Promise you would stay the same. I can't be this stuck with you. You act like I lied to you. Loving you what I tried to do, but you gon' say I tried. I won't waste my.
You're in tune to the Powerhouse Radio, linking the world to the Caribbean.